Remember when going to the movies was just pure escapism? When the entire goal was to just entertain? If there's been anybody better at this over the past 40 years, I sure as hell can't name him. With Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, he's done it again. Tom Cruise is the last of the Hollywood movie stars. It occurred to me this past week that I'd never gotten around to watching Mission Impossible Fallout. I'll just go ahead and blame it on Henry Cavill's awesome mustache that led to this abomination. So I rightly took care of that and headed out to the movies to catch Dead Reckoning Part 1. And after watching both movies back to back and then thinking about the others, it occurred to me, do the plots of these things even matter? I mean, I don't even mean that as an insult, just an observation. In the end, I'm pretty sure they can all be summarized like this. Ethan Hunt,
that's such a fun name to say,
is given a mission to go and find some MacGuffin that's the key to making sure civilization as we know it isn't destroyed, probably by some shadow group which has members that are former intelligence officers with one nation or another. Ethan and his team begin the quest. They run into a bunch of double crosses and switcheroos, travel to exotic destinations in search of said MacGuffin or the person who knows where it is, and all the while, Ethan runs, jumps, falls, drives, runs, fights, flies, shoots, and runs some more, while involved in some of the most absolutely amazing action scenes ever conceived.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
This time around, the MacGuffin is a literal key, which is needed to access a super-duper AI which has taken over basically every nation's intelligence software, and every world power, in addition to a shadowy past adversary of Ethan's, is out to grab it for themselves. Ethan and his team take off after it and run into Grace, played by Hayley Atwell, who's a thief and wants to steal it for herself. There are a bunch of double crosses and switcheroos. They travel to a bunch of exotic destinations in search of the key or the person who may have it, and Ethan runs, jumps, falls, drives, runs, fights, flies, shoots, and runs some more, while involved in the most absolutely amazing action scenes ever conceived. This time, we get an absolutely insane car chase through the streets of Rome, fights on top of a train, and I fucking kid you not, he rides a motorcycle off the side of a cliff and into a base jump. It's the absolute craziest shit you have ever seen, and it's really Tom Cruise doing it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll get back to that in a bit. The cast is solid as usual. In addition to Cruise, you've got Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg back as the core trio of IMF, and they pick up right where they left off. You also have Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa and Vanessa Kirby as the White Widow returning from Fallout. The new big inclusions this go-round are Issei Morales and Hayley Atwell. Morales is great as Gabriel and makes for a worthy adversary to Cruise's Hunt. Atwell kinda steals the show, though. I'm not sure if it was a writing decision or they just realized what they had when she showed up on set, but Dead Reckoning adds a good amount of much-needed humor to the series, and Atwell is great with this. The banter she has with Hunt is outstanding, and it's good to see Cruise doing that kind of thing again. At times it feels like old Cruise from the 80s, double-taking and stumbling over words when frustrated. So getting back to Cruise, as well-loved as he's been for decades, the guy is almost certainly underappreciated. Have you ever gone and scrolled through the man's IMDb page and realized there's almost no complete misses in the entire catalog? It is absolutely incredible. Obviously, some are better than others, but the string of consistently good to great movies is unheard of. And as I did some research on the various stunts this go-round, I noticed Cruise kept saying one thing over and over.
It all comes down to one thing: the audience. How do we involve the audience? I just want to give them that thrill.
Think about that for a second. At a time when movie studios, directors, and actors won't stop talking about how fans are the problem, all Tom Cruise cares about is making the audience happy. CGI, while way overused now, has gotten to the point that it would make doing some of the most outrageous practical stunts he does completely unnecessary. What it comes down to is he understands that by doing them practically and by letting people know he's doing them all himself, he's telling the audience he has skin in the game. His attention to detail and his commitment to these things not only sells the movie, but it sells himself. He understands this so well that 6 months before the release of Dead Reckoning, they released a behind-the-scenes video of him doing the biggest stunt in the movie, essentially spoiling it, but knowing that what they were really doing was getting people amped for the movie, knowing that Tom Cruise had really done these things to ensure the movie is great. It's why people still go to the theater to see a movie starring Tom Cruise. No other current actor can bring people in on his name alone. He can, and it's why he's the last of a dying breed. Look, Father Time is an absolute asshole, and he's undefeated. He comes for us all, even Tom Cruise. Cruise was 58 years old when they shot Dead Reckoning back in 2020, and he looked and performed incredibly. But the clock is ticking. Word on the street is that Dead Reckoning Part 2 will not end the franchise, and that Cruise and writer-director Christopher McQuarrie are already working on ideas for a 9th movie. But the end will come, and when it does, so will an era. Until that happens, we may want to enjoy the hell out of what we have right now and appreciate just how special this guy is. We're almost certainly not going to get another one like him, so enjoy it while it lasts. Until next time, thanks for watching.